terrible. Drives like a pig.
Oh, you can't say that.
Why not?
It's a Ferrari.
It's a shitbox.
Hello and welcome to Misano, and in a little bit we'll be going to Imola as well. This is for the Carbonara Cup. So the Discord community I'm in, Scottish Legends, they do Fun Friday events as they call them, and this week the Carbonara Cup is carrying that name because it's an all-Italian cup that they set up just for the evening. So we'll be doing two races, one at the Italian circuit Misano and the second one at the, of course, also Italian one, Imola. And we'll be driving these Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo cars. So they're GT Cup cars, so not GT3. And I believe this car is a bit more powerful than the Porsche I usually drive for any GT3 car. However, it also has a way less efficient aero package, and also the ABS and the traction control aren't as good and so on, so they're a bit of a handful to drive. And yeah, when I first got in them to practice a bit, I really thought like, whoa man, this drives like a shitbox. So yeah. In the meantime, we're into the qualifying on Misano then. So this track, my history with it is not great. I once wanted to partake in a Monday marathon event with the Scottish Legends Discord community. So I practiced it quite a lot. Really didn't enjoy the track. It's just super flat and it all feels kind of the same to me. Quite a lot of, I feel, similar corners, you know, with the long straight, sharp corner, long straight, sharp corner. And then right before the event, the day off, I got sick and I ended up practicing for nothing, it felt like. Of course, now I still carry it with me that I practiced it and it is helping for this event. But yeah, just not my favorite track. In any case, currently on the long back straight of the track, there is a kink, but it was flat out. And then we come to this multi-part braking zone, which is really complex. First part, you hardly brake, maybe just do a little lift. And the second corner, you go down one or two gears. And then for this final corner that I just passed, you go down to second gear and really have to slow down hard. Then quickly get back on the throttle briefly. Then back down to third gear. And then same thing for this corner. They're really similar once again. And then you come around for the final straight, and that's it. So I put down the 139.7. Car in front of me, Miro Momo did the same, and Crawford did a 37 point something or 138. Now behind me, Coco is very fast driver, does a 136.5. But so for me, I was quite okay with the 139.7. I had barely had any practice before I joined the session on this track. It'd been months since I drove it. So I was expecting very little and I was just kind of hoping to stick with the back of the pack in the race. Now, if you look bottom left, you'll see that on the timing sheet, everybody else disappeared. And that's because my internet disconnected at that point, which was the end of qualifying. And I didn't get it fixed before the race started. And the settings for this session were that if the race was underway, you couldn't join. So very similar to when I got sick, but maybe not in as much effort. But I again missed the race, so quite unfortunate. I wasn't too miffed about it because I was back online in time for the second race of the Carbonara Cup, which was at Imola. So we're off to qualifying now. I did a personal best, not just for this session, but for the car and track combo overall with a 146.0. The fastest guys were doing quite a bit better. For example, we saw Nico there with a 143.6 or so. That dude is super fast, so I'm okay with the time I did. I wasn't qualified last, there were people slower than me, so I was pretty happy about that, even though it weren't too many people. Also, last time I was driving here, I got some of the corner names wrong, so I've been working on that and I promise to do better this time. The main one that I got wrong last time was the Tamburello chicane, which I thought was the second one, but it's actually the first chicane, with the second one being the Villeneuve chicane. But anyway, yeah. So here we are. We went downhill just now into Acque Minerale. I think it's both corners, or I think it's like a sequence of corners that both have that name. And we go uphill again, because it's the second time uphill. A bit of a straight into Variante Alta, so the Alta chicane. So the chicane on the top of the hill. And then it's a bit of a plateau before we dive back down into the double left-hander Rivazza. This downhill section is very tricky because you have a kink in the track right before you start braking, and braking downhill is already a bit more difficult because of course you have less grip, yeah, it always is a bit surprising how long you need to brake to slow down when you're going downhill compared to when you're just going straight. In any case, even if I was already happy with a 146.0, I still improved, so again put a new personal best with a 145.6, and yeah, we're off to the races. Now there's no point in calling out the car brands because we're all driving those 488 Ferrari Evo Challenge cars, so I'll just be calling out the colors. So to my left there's a black one, it's driven by M Genius. In front of me I think it's Crawford, that's in front of me, and then behind me still are Cray and Smith. I think Cray is in a teal Ferrari, same as me, and Smith, actually I don't remember, I was expecting someone else there still, but Menchik is further ahead. But yeah, Menchik is the green car with the white stripes, not the car in front of me, but the car in front of them. So we see Menchik, the green car, then dipping his right tires on the grass there, being dropped back a bit in the grid with two black Ferraris overtaking, one of them being Genius. Now in the Tamburello chicane, Menchik gets a bit squirrely, and then Genius, the black Ferrari, is too late on the brakes, rams the back of the red Ferrari, and then is blown into the Menchik on the green one with the white stripe. So we'll see it again better with the top-down view. So I'm the teal Ferrari that's in the middle of the screen. I have Menchik in front of me, the green one, and just trying to stick with the pack while the two cars behind are already dropping back a little. But the pack will be holding each other up, so that'll work out for them, and they'll actually get the overtake at least on Menchik. And then Cray is the other teal Ferrari, was alongside there with me for a moment. We were in a 3 wide for just a brief moment with Genius also in the black one. But then I end up pulling ahead, and now on my way to Tosa I have really settled basically into a nice spot there. I feel having moved up, I think, into P12. I'm not sure, I guess I started P13 probably. In any case, I have Genius behind, the black Ferrari, then Cray, and then Menchik, and those will be my main competitors in the race. I do get quite close to the white Ferrari here, but then on the brakes, Genius was just too late on the brakes and ends up ramming me from behind. Leads to a bit of damage on the back of the car for me, and of course I lose quite a bit of time having spun. Now here in the replay we can see Genius flashing the lights to announce that they're gonna pull a Genius move, and there they go. They do get clipped on the side from my back spinning out, but they are not hampered too much from that. They do get the second to last position from it, but they're still with the guy, right with the guys in front, whereas I am now about 2.5 seconds back from Genius, so the last car aside from me. Up the hill we go, Variante Alta. I'm pretty happy with the way I cut it there, so not at least losing time. I think I gained a couple of tenths, not that that's gonna make a huge difference for now. And then we come into this downhill section. I don't have that much experience on this track. I would like to have more, but I think that goes for a lot of people. We see Cray in the teal car actually missing Rivazza 1 and having an adventure in the gravel. They retain position though, so not too bad all in all. And actually they had the fastest lap of the 4 of us with a 1:59, whereas Menchik Genius did a 2:02 and I did a 2 minutes 3 seconds lap. Now coming to Tamburello chicane, I skid across the curbs, but I keep it together. Cray in front went off track again, went over the gravel, missed the turn-in on the first corner in the Tamburello chicane, but again retains position. The other two have come very close now though, Menchik and Genius right behind Cray, whereas I am still a bit of a ways behind, though, you know, I can easily keep them in view, so it's not too bad. But compared to the previous round, I haven't made any inroads. I think I've lost about half a second, so I'll have to do better than I have been doing so far. Luckily, with them now being very close together, I think there's a good chance that they'll start fighting, and from there maybe I can gain a bit of ground. Going into Acqua Minerale, I think the second corner there, all three of them really go a bit too deep. It's a pretty classic thing to see in these tracks that you don't get to practice often, and let alone cars that you never drive, that people tend to repeat mistakes because it's just a bit of feeling out where's the limit, and then, you know, trying to get as close to it as possible without going over, but it just takes a while to really dial it in. So that Acqua Minerale going too deep, I think all three of them will do multiple times. Same here, going into Rivazza, I think quite a few cars will be going off track there. It's just a very easy mistake to make. Now we do see a battle erupting between Menchik and Cray. They come out of the Rivazza side by side. Menchik takes the upper hand again, puts down a 146.9 with Cray a 148.1, so losing out there. And then both Genius and I also do 146s. Now, here, looking ahead a bit, the battle continues into Tamburello chicane, and the teal Ferrari goes off track again, same as the last time around. So that's Cray going off the track, and Menchik manages to capitalize on it, takes that position 11, with Cray falling back to 12th place at first. Then on the rejoin, it's a little dicey with Genius coming really close behind, but Genius manages to also still overtake, because when Cray finally rejoins the track, they're quite a bit slower. So all this allows me to really catch back up, and I am now right behind Cray and trying to stick with them, so hopefully I can put some pressure in the lap or laps to come. Downhill we go again to Acqua Minerale. We see Menchik going a bit deep, we see Genius going a bit deep, and especially Cray goes way too deep, goes quite a far off track. Recovers very nicely though, and actually doesn't seem to lose time because of it. So unfortunate for me. Towards Variante Alta they have quite a bumpy ride, so do I, but I think I manage it a little better, so I close the gap for briefly, but they do better on exit, so it opens right back up. Now in front we see Menchik making a big mistake, so in the kink heading for the downhill braking zone they cut the curb too much, which then sends them flying across the track, and by the time, well, they go off in Rivazza, the gravel trap does a good job of stopping them, but then they have lost quite a bit of time, so they arrive back on track just about at the time that I pass them by, but I have a bit more speed and they have to watch that they rejoin safely, so they have to give priority to me. So I managed to pull ahead now. Going to the Tamburello chicane, the action doesn't let up. So Cray in front does the same mistake that they've made now 3 laps in a row, so they go off in the first corner of Tamburello chicane. I'm a bit distracted by it, so in the second replay we'll see me skidding over the curbs. Also, I think the second lap in a row that I made the mistake. Cray has learned from the previous lap, so they do rejoin quite slowly, but then they see Menchik coming up very fast behind, so they go off track a second time in short order. And this is me then in the first part of the chicane, heading over those curbs again and just losing ground because of it to Menchik. And yeah, here's the continuation then, where I pass by Cray, and we see Cray now dropping back a bit. I think they're behind for about 2-second gap. So coming through the hairpin, Tosa, we'll see the gap suddenly open up very much behind. Is because Cray is parking up on the side of the road. I feel that they've had enough. They keep making the same mistake again, and I guess they just don't feel like it anymore, so they back out of the race, teleport to the pits, and then just leave the lobby altogether. So next up for my fight is Menchik, who's about half a second to a second behind. Goes too deep again into Acqua Minerale, the second part, and this allows me to be really close. Into Variante Alta I want to put some pressure, so I juke to the inside to make it seem like I might go for a dive, hoping to distract them and lure them into a mistake. And of course I can't know for sure if that's what happened, but if you look at the replay from their view, so first Acqua Minerale going too deep, and then pay attention to the middle console where I'm now gonna juke right, making it look like I'm thinking about a big dive bomb, and I'm gonna assume that they were distracted by it, and that's what forced them into this mistake, but as said, I can't know for sure. In any case, Menchik, similarly to Cray, has had enough, so just dips out, leaves the lobby altogether, and now the battle for me is with Genius only, because from P11 onwards they have kind of left us all behind. They're putting down 144s, 145s, so it doesn't look like I'll be competing with them anytime soon, since I put down a 147.4 myself, and Genius has a 146.4, so about a second faster. I'll have to do better than that if I want to catch up, which I do. Though it is notable that Genius actually already accumulated three penalties. I'm not sure what the third one is for, but that's a 5-second penalty. Then another 5-second penalty for ramming me off track in Piratella, so the sharper corner towards the end of this uphill section. And then at the start of the race, it was also visible in the video that they rammed a red car from behind and then bounced off into Menchik, bouncing them off track. So in total, they have 15 seconds of penalty to their name. So I don't really need to do anything to get the position from them, just stick behind within 15 seconds, which I think should be very, very doable. But of course, for honor, I do want to get that overtake. I skipped a whole bunch of laps now, because in lap 10 I had caught up quite heavily, and until about a second and a half behind, and we see Genius making a mistake there, just cutting too hard into Variante Alta, clipping a bit too much of the curb, which takes away their grip momentarily and makes it so that they can't turn into the left for the second part of the chicane. And this puts them off track quite slowly, so I can have an easy overtake from there. Unfortunately, in the very next sector I make a mistake myself, so I'm too late to break into Rivazza. Classic mistake, highlighted it several times already for this reason really. And whereas I gain a position in Variante Alta, I just lose it again in Rivazza 1. So by the time I join back on track in around Rivazza 2, Genius is already past me. Their mistake did cost them more than mine cost me. So I'm now within 1 second behind and really looking to up the pressure. Despite going off track, I do a 147.2, significantly faster than the 148.8 that Genius put down, and even a little faster than my previous lap, which is kind of funny given that I went off track there. But yeah, I'm really looking to put that pressure now, half a second behind. We see it already taking effect a bit with Genius dipping the right wheels off track. It's kind of funny how often this seems to happen. I've seen it happen several times just throughout this replay. And I think it's just quite a relatively narrow track with a lot of small turns, so it's very easy if you're looking behind to lose track of where you are on the track and then just go off a little bit before you notice and get a bit of a scare, but keep it together anyway. Into Piratella, I come very close, but unlike Genius, I don't hit the back of them. And to Acqua Minerale we go. I'm hoping they'll go deep again, and they do miss the curb on the inside, but not by as much as previous laps. And here we see making one of those mistakes where I just dipped the right wheels again off track, not ideal. But into Variante Alta, Genius misses the first curb, really misses the apex there. I do better, but then on exit they improve over me. So whereas I was very close behind, the gap has now opened up to about 1.5 seconds. Good thing for me, they make that classic mistake once more. So into Rivazza we go, they brake too late, go off track, and I finally get the position P9 with them P10 now. And from here I'll just hope to be checking out. So in the replay, not that much to be said really. Too late on the brakes, go off track, takes a bit to come back on, lose quite a bit of speed, and overtake done easy. Across the start-finish line we go. It's a 146.8 for me, 147.5 for Genius. No big surprises there, since they did have that off-track adventure. And from here I just hope to check out and really gap them as fast as I can without taking too much unnecessary risk. For now they're sticking with me after we come out of the Tambuhello chicane, though I do open it up a bit on the straight. We head into the Villeneuve chicane, and gap is just about maintained, and then we head to Tosa. I keep it quite tight on the inside here. If you look in my mirrors, I think I did a bit better there than Genius. So up the hill we go on our way to Piratella. I'm hoping Genius is not close enough to hit me from behind again. If they were to repeat the mistake, of course, which wouldn't be guaranteed anyway if they were close. But they actually lose some more ground, so gap opens up till about 2 seconds now. Through Aqua Minerale, it's my turn to make the mistake of going a bit too deep. Does allow Genius to come a little bit closer, but actually from there I start opening the gap again until I have a gap of about 6-7 seconds behind. I skipped several laps again. I put down a 145.2, personal best for the car track combo, not just the session. And I'm getting encouraged by my race engineer that I'm catching up to Crawford, car in front. And I get a bit of the spirit again to look for a position, which is quite silly because there's less than 3 minutes on the timer. So there's in fact no chance, unless they make a big mistake and have a big shunt, there's no chance I'm gonna gain that much ground. Really, mostly what I should be doing is keep it safe enough that I keep Genius behind and maintain the 5-6 second gap behind. They do seem to be pushing hard. We can see that they are coming a bit closer. And then to Aqua Minerale we go, and I missed the apex by a country mile. So I have to make my way back on track under a somewhat acute angle. And it's very awkward to do so. The track itself there is already quite bumpy, and the off-track part, the bumpiness there caught me even more off guard. So even though I come back on, I just bump off straight on the other side and have quite a bit of trouble keeping the car under control and not spin. In the end, I do catch it and make my way through Variante Alta, but Genius has caught up very heavily from all this, so they're now about 2 seconds behind. Or let's call it 3 as it opens up on the straight. So to Rivazza we go, and it's crucial now that I don't keep making mistakes, so keep it nice and tidy through there. And from there it's no further drama, skip to the end of the race. We get the fireworks as the evening sets in Imola. So a very fun race. Maybe not the most spectacular racecraft or anything, no spectacular overtakes, but I'm just happy to be driving this track because I'll be visiting in spring with a friend, and I just really want to get more experience on it. So I hope to see it also, for example, in the weekly rotations on LFM. In any case, hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you, and catch you on the next one.